The way we ensure at eButterfly that a record has been properly identified is by following a crowdsourced system. This crowdsourced system basically means that our users are the ones that will identify the records. And only after the community agrees on a specific identification, that record will be vetted. This by following what is called the two-thirds rule. This rule basically says that a record will be vetted only after two or more users agree on a specific ID being more than two-thirds of the overall users. So let's put an example here. Let's say I just submitted this photo, this record. As soon as I submit it, my record will have attached this tag that says needs ID. That means that I am the only one interacting with this record at the moment, so the community hasn't had the chance of identifying my record. So, as of now, what I suggested, in this case, that it was a monarch, it's not reaching that threshold of the two-thirds, so it is still pending identification. Now, let's say a new user comes and agrees with me and says that, yes, this is a monarch. So that user then will be reaching that two-thirds rule, will be 100% of the users agree with this specific record. So my record will change its tag to identified, meaning that it is already vetted. Now, maybe another user came and it said that, nope, this is not a monarch, this is a viceroy. So half, meaning myself, says that it is a monarch, and half says that it is a viceroy. So we are disagreeing in that. But we have to remember, monarchs and viceroys, they have the same genus. So we still agree on the genus. So my record now gets this tag, genus identified, meaning that we still have to decide which species it is, but we at least know that it is a Danaeus in this case. Now, let's say a third user comes in, and that user agrees with me that it is a monarch. So now I have my vote, the other user's vote, and we both go against viceroy. That overpowers that two-thirds rule. So even though I have this minority saying that it was a viceroy, this record gets us identified as a monarch in this case. Now, on top of this two-thirds rule, we acknowledge that some of our users have more experience than others. For that, we give them different badges, and you will see that across the site. Next to usernames, you will see these little icons with different colors that represent how experienced our users are. As soon as you sign up for eButterfly, you will get a new badge, and that will give you a one vote power. Whenever you get upgraded after doing 100 identifications and submitting at least 25 species, you will get upgraded to guide, and then your votes will be worth 2. So, for example, in this previous example, if this person were a guide, for example, then they would overpower even more this person that said it was a viceroy. The third is expert, which is worth 3 votes. You have to identify, so participate in our community identifying other observations 1,000 times, and also submit at least 75 different species on your live list. Finally, our experts, the ones that are vetting almost every day and we rely on their knowledge, are what we all call curators. They are worth 4 votes. Basically, they have overpowering vote, but you can only get to be a curator after 10,000 identifications and 250 submitted species. So not a lot of people get to be a curator, but that ensures that to give them the place that they deserve because of their experience. Now, moving on to the site, let's try to do some identifications. So as soon as you sign in into eButterfly, on your top menu, you have the option Identify. This is where all of the pending identifications are. So if you click there, you will get a list. It's like your to-do list of the butterflies that have been recently submitted. So we see here a silvery blue, northern pearly eye, like a caterpillar, black swallowtail, so on and so forth. So you can see all of the butterflies recently submitted. As we were discussing, you see that some are marked already as identified, some are as needs IDs, and we have a mix of all of those. You can search for specific species or suggested species if you want. You can search for specific locations if you feel that you're just expert on a specific location, or filters. For example, you only want to filter, identify things for a specific user, or within a specific end and start date, so on and so forth. Also, you can just look for photos. So to avoid this no image found, if you don't want to vet those, you can do that. So let's do it. So you can just a list of just the ones that have photos. So for example, we have this black swallowtail, and yes, the image looks as a black swallowtail. If you click on the image, it can get expanded, and you'll see some of the details of that specific submission. For example, was Goshawk, the one that submitted this. He submitted it 1 day ago and was at Vermont. If I want to see more details about this particular checklist, I can always click on View Observation, and it will take me to the checklist details. Now, from here, you can click Agree if I agree with the ID that Goshawk is suggesting, in this case a black swallowtail. Or I can identify, so I can say, no, it is not a black swallowtail. Let's say, I don't know, it's a tiger swallow, Eastern Canadian tiger swallowtail. So you can suggest it, and of course we recommend writing down here a reason why it is not the species that this user is suggesting. In that way, we keep improving our knowledge. So in this case, indeed, it is a black swallowtail, so I'm not going to go against him, but I'm going to agree with him. So you just click Agree, and you'll see, after a few seconds, I am going to get added to that observation history. So it says, I agreed with Goshawk, so we both agreed that it is a black swallowtail, and if you can see, I have the curator badge. Goshawk has an expert badge, so I am worth 4. He's vote worth 3. So we have 7 votes on favor that this is a black swallowtail. Okay. Now, if I close this window, it will get reloaded, and you'll see that that record is not listed here anymore. Because this list is like a to-do list of the things that you are yet to identify. And since I already identified that previous record, then it just gets out of the way. And it will get listed on here on my user menu on my identifications. If I click on my identifications, you will see that the first record that I get is the one that I just identified. It's already on the things that I already done. So if I want to go fast without maybe opening the quick view or the photo, I can start scrolling and I can see like, okay, for example, this is yes, it's a Canadian tiger swallowtail. I can just agree from here. I just click agree, and you will see that the button will get dimmed. So I already agreed with this one. Let's say this was a Vanessa. So okay, we agree with that, and you can just keep scrolling down and just keep agreeing with other observations. What else do we have here? So for example, I might be having some trouble to know if this is an eastern tail blue. I might not be sure. Okay, one quick tip that you can do is to click the species name, in this case, eastern tail blue. If you click on that name, a new window will open with the species profile. This species profile gives you a list of photos, the flight period, and the map of where that species appears. So in this case, it's like East Coast kind of butterfly. It flies across these weeks. And let's see, if I click on this image, okay, I see intense blue, this orange cells back here, the particular short tails of this butterfly. And I can search for more examples. If I click more, I get a list of all the photos that we have at eButterfly of this particular species. So I can be very sure that this record, it is indeed an eastern tail blue. So let's go back to that eastern tail blue. Let's see. Okay, indeed, it has the short tails, has those orange colors. It is brightly blue. So yeah, indeed, it is an eastern tail blue. Agree. So that way, we will keep growing this community of identification. We will keep learning, and it is one of the core areas of eButterfly. So we really encourage you to visit Identify as much as possible and just keep being active here. Now, the last thing that I want to show you about identifications is what happens when someone agrees with a record that you just submitted or disagrees. We have the notification system up here. We will have a specific video about that, but I'm just going to show you one quick thing about this section. The first tab that we get at the notification system is species suggestions. And here I can see all the users that have interacted with records that I also have interacted with. So for example, 11 days ago, I interacted with this record from Jeff T, and I said that it was a Western Pine Elfin. And now 2 hours ago, Goshawk, he agreed, you can see here, he agreed that this was a Western Pine Elfin. So I get that notification. And you can see I have a history of all the people that has agreed with me. I also can see who has disagreed with me just by clicking here, this button. Luckily, right now I only have a little disagreement with one person, with admin, by the way, that first we said that it was a mustard white, and then we said that it was a cabbage white. So that remained as that we had a disagreement in one point in time. Okay, so that being said, that is what the identification system is. As always, you can get in touch with us through the help portal, and I'll be more than happy to help. You can also email me to e.butterfly.help@gmail.com, and I'll be ready to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much, and have fun.